morning and welcome to Let's Talk Autism with Shannon and Nancy. I'm Nancy Alspaugh-Jackson.
And I'm Shannon Penrod.
Here with my pal Shannon.
And you're going to have a birthday this week.
Would you please stop announcing that to the world?
I want people to celebrate that you're here.
Okay.
And that we love you. And,
I love you too.
So happy birthday. I don't have a cake for you today.
Thank
we'll have
you.
to do that on Friday.
But I'm getting up there, but that's okay.
Well,
we all are getting up there every year.
The alternative is much different.
The alternative is not what we want.
Right. So, and we're thrilled that you're here and all the things that you do. And we love you. So happy birthday early.
Thank you.
We'll celebrate it next week too.
All right. Sounds good.
We'll celebrate the whole month.
My birthday month. Okay.
Yes. And I just was looking at that beautiful opening that Samantha made for us, our new opening to the show. And I love that picture of you and I, that's our new picture. And I love all the things that picture means to me, because you're like the Barbie in that gorgeous, gorgeous dress that I don't even know how much that dress was in terms of, because it was lent to you.
It was lent to me by Andrea's Bridals in Beverly Hills, California.
And you had to go and you had fittings.
It was like being a princess. It made me, I understand, how I guess Princess Kate feels when she, goes to something, because it's amazing to have a dress fitted to your body, and that's what she did. She fitted that dress to my body.
Well, and you looked like a princess, and you looked like a president's wife, and we can't even put a price tag on what that thing was. And I'm there, and I'm looking good for me.
You're looking great.
But I'm wearing a shirt that I got at a garage sale for $3.
When you told me that, I was flabbergasted.
But I'm so excited. I'm like, I got this for $3.
I was flabbergasted that beautiful blouse cost you $3.
But this is the difference between the two of us, that you're there, and you're excited about the fact that you're a princess and everything. And I'm like, I got this for $3.
Yeah, you were excited about that. And
we really are the yin and yang.
Well, that's okay. Lucy and Ethel.
I love that.
So I do too. I do too.
I love looking at that picture, and it's like, oh gosh, that's so funny to me.
And we both happen to be in that same shade of blue. So,
yes, it was like the Vulcan mind melt that we all.
Symbolic too.
I thought of you this morning because I was like, I wanted to wear purple. I had to wear purple, and I thought for sure you'd be in purple.
No purple for me today.
I don't know what it was then today, why I had to be in purple. But anyway, we have a fabulous guest that's coming up that I'm completely in left field, but it's Nico DeWild.
Yes.
Who's going to be with us, and he is going to be talking with us about the rib cap.
Yes, which is a very interesting new way of protecting heads. And,
well, it's also a
skulls.
fashion statement that people are loving this hat, but in particular, our kiddos on the autism spectrum, that's got a particular attraction for that. So we're going to talk with Nico about that, which will be really fun. But we want to do the in the news quickly before that, and there's been some intense news again.
Everything being captured on video today is, we used to not have this option.
And it's a powerful thing, but it's devastating when we get to see what really happens sometimes when we're not there. And of course, Nancy and I are talking about this newest video that's come out of the aide on the bus hitting the little girl. And
not just once, but twice, slapping her in the face.
Kaylee Rushing is on the bus, nonverbal little girl, 6 years old, on the bus.
And this is right outside of Chicago, is my understanding.
Yes, in the new Lenox School District. And, there's a shorter version that's going around where all you see is the aide hit her twice in the face. There's a longer version where you can see that Kaylee goes to hit her first before the aide hits her. But let's be clear about this. That is not an excuse.
A 6-year-old child that is striking out, there's obviously no excuse for striking back, as you said. And the child is nonverbal, and the child was obviously frustrated, trying to communicate, the little girl, Kaylee.
Yeah. And
aides need to be trained in any aggressive behaviors. Aides need to be trained in how to deal with it.
Yes. The school, New Lenox School District, is issued very quickly this statement: student safety is our priority, and we expect any service the district contracts with to fully comply with this priority, because the aide was someone that they contracted with. And the aide has been removed, and they're investigating. But it does make you think, how often does this happen when someone doesn't have a camera on it?
Aren't rolling, yeah.
Because it just makes you so mad. You just,
Yeah.
There's another case of, there's like cases of this every single day of teachers that are being brought up on charges, aides that are being, there's a new video of somebody dragging somebody down the hallway, and you just go, really, people?
Yeah.
And I want to say this, we're starting a new segment on Autism Live called Autism in the Classrooms, and we want for it to address this and so many other issues, to give tools to good teachers. But one of the things I want to put out there to our teachers who are good teachers, we've got, you're the front line of defense. If you see somebody doing this, you have to speak up. You have to. I know that it's hard with union rules and things and pressure, but you've got to speak up, because no one else is there to see it often if there isn't a camera.
Yes.
Okay. From England, we've got some news. A dad who's come forward, who's very popular in England.
Very. Keith Duffy, I guess he's a sort of a megastar in England.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of who he is, but he apparently is in a band called Boyzone. And he also was on Coronation Street, so I imagine he's quite well known to people in England and in Europe. His daughter is 17 years old. Her name is Mia. She's on the spectrum, and she didn't speak until she was 7 years old. And he is part of a new TV documentary called Let Me In, and talks about accepting and embracing when you have a child with autism.
Yeah. One of the quotes that he said is, one of the most important steps for a parent of a child with autism is to stop mourning the child that they thought they had and to start embracing the child that they have. And you and I had a little conversation about this beforehand. This is a really hard thing, and there are different steps along the way, and it's different for everybody. I think that all parents of all children at some point have to accept who their child is.
Yes.
Instead of who they thought their child was going to be. And for some people, that's in the neighborhood of, well, they're not going to go to the college that I want them to, or they're not going to be a doctor. And of course, when there is a different ability or a disability, it changes the entire thing. And it can be very difficult.
It can be.
But I think he's right that it's a powerful place to come from, to be in the space when you let go of what you thought.
Yeah, stop, you have to stop mourning the child that you thought you had and say, this is my child.
But I think you have to, wouldn't you say, Nancy, that you have to go through the mourning process to get there?
I think that's true. I think there's definitely a mourning process.
And I don't think that anybody should feel guilty for going through the mourning process. But once you get to the other side, I think that's a powerful place to be in. Now, having talked about that, there's a lot of news about coverage and what may or may not be in a new health care bill.
In Alabama,
too. Yes.
And you're talking about Medicaid.
Well, we can talk about both of them. These are the last two stories that we have. Maybe we should do Alabama first, because that vote is taking place any minute now.
Yeah, I think is it taking place?
It's today.
Today.
It's today. I think it's today. Perhaps it's tomorrow. It could. Okay. I'm not sure. But we've been covering this the last 2 weeks, that in Alabama, one of the last 3 states that doesn't have a mandate, first it passed the House of Representatives in that state with a unanimous vote, and then it got bogged down in the Senate because there were a lot of lobbyists from insurance companies that were lobbying against it and saying it's going to be too expensive, and so we're not really sure whether it's going to pass. Well, in these last few minutes leading up to the vote, Blue Cross Blue Shield had said, you guys really don't even need this bill, because we're going to cover autism even if there isn't a mandate.
Right.
Which is great. Let us not be mistaken about that. It's absolutely great. It is important to recognize that, and they wrote it out in a letter, because one of the senators said, I want that in writing.
Right.
Let's get that in writing. So they have written it out in a letter, but it's important to note that that isn't enough.
No.
And that the reason why they still want to get the mandate passed is because it doesn't cover Medicare. And that there are people in the state who don't have Blue Cross Blue Shield, and that's why they still need the bill. Now, having talked about Medicare, that segues quite nicely into the fact that a lot of people have a lot of questions about what is happening now with the health care bill that just passed the House of Representatives and the U.S. Congress. the
how it
National
affects
Congress,
Medicaid.
and how it affects autism in general.
Right.
And one of the things that I found a great article from newsobserver.com, which was an opinion op-ed piece by Tracy Sharif, who is the CEO of Autism Society of North Carolina. Shout out to her. And I think it's a very well-written piece. Newsobserver.com is carrying it right now, where she talks about what will, if Medicaid, with the current law as it's written, what would happen to autism treatment. And I think it's absolutely essential that we all be aware, because as you know, Nancy, there are many people who have children with autism that are on Medicare.
Yes.
I would say as many of them on Medicare as have insurance.
Yeah.
And so this is a problem that we all need to look at together. I certainly don't ever want to be in a position of saying, well, you know, I've got a job, I've got health insurance, so my kid gets coverage, but yours doesn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem fair to me. And she goes into great detail about the fact that, Medicare also provides access to physical and mental health care services for individuals with autism, including diagnostic assessments, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, outpatient and inpatient mental health, psychiatric services, preventative and physical health care, and medication. So it's not just about ABA. And she says all of these services are vital to some of our most vulnerable neighbors. Proposed changes to Medicaid, including block grants and significant cuts to funding, would likely end access to these therapeutic and health services for people with autism. And that's not, because we get into this bogged down into the, should they pay for ABA, should they not? It isn't just as clear as that.
No.
But we know that ABA is essential. It's, each and every one of these kids deserves an opportunity to get the benefits of ABA.
And apparently there's already a lengthy wait period for services, 7 to 8 years, according to this article.
And this is one of the reasons why, what's being said is that we can't continue with the Affordable Care Act, because what has happened is that people just aren't providing services.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really important to not ignore that. But going the other direction is not the answer either.
No.
So I really, this is a really interesting read.
So once again, that was in the newsobserver.com if you'd like to take a look at that more in depth.
Yes. And then we will be watching to see what happens with Alabama.
The vote in Alabama.
With the vote.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think it maybe is tomorrow. I have my days all mixed up.
Okay. Yeah, I think it is tomorrow, the final vote.
Anyway, we got Nico DeWild coming in just a few minutes via Skype, so we're going to take a break and be back with him.
Hello, fellow activists. Last week, we talked about the first step to empowerment. Accept and embrace this challenge. Sometimes you have people that support you in your denial. Maybe it's your husband. Maybe it's your mother. When I expressed my concern to my pediatrician about Wyatt losing language around the age of 2, his response, maybe he's a late talker. He's a boy. Let's wait and see. But what about the temper tantrums? What about the fact that he put his head through the kitchen window? What about the bite marks and scratches all over my arms and chest? He said he's probably just frustrated that he can't express himself. Let's wait and see. But autism doesn't afford us that luxury. Of course, I was relieved with my pediatrician's reassurances, but I should have gone with my gut, because if I had, I could have gotten a diagnosis 2 years earlier. And I lost 2 valuable years that could have been spent on early intervention. And finally, when Wyatt was diagnosed, he was misdiagnosed. But of course, part of that was my problem too. I lied in a lot of those parent questionnaires so things looked better. I can't turn back the hands of time, but I can recommend that you face this challenge head on. Denial prevents us from walking a path we eventually will have to walk anyway. The sooner you face the truth, the sooner you can help your child. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep the faith.
Being part of this community is really important to a mom with a son like Jackson, because it really does take a village, and you need so much support, you know, to help bring out all of the amazing qualities and skills and talents that our children have. So I'm just very grateful to everybody who was a part of this.
I think it helps with all sorts of that self-esteem, social skills. They seem to communicate a little bit with each other, and they had a lot of friends. The helpers were phenomenal, and I think the social skills for sure, because they worked together and they did a couple group things across the floor, and they sang songs together, and yeah, for sure, I think it's a really huge deal. A great program.
What programs like this show is the person is in front of what we call today a disorder. I think what we're finding is that these sorts of brain challenges that make people unique can actually be gifts in ways we haven't discovered in the rest of society to bring them out. So when you see a program like this and you see the kids dancing, having fun, and making up jokes, making up the story. I was here when they did that. That was so amazing to watch, because they were all focused, they were all present, and they were all laughing, they were all getting into the creation of this story. And that to me sort of broke the barrier to say, no, first we're dealing with people, and then we're dealing with the challenges.
And we are back. I always I love that video. Both of our sons are in it.
Yes.
And we had a great time with the Miracle Project at that camp that
Yes.
that Act Today funded.
It was amazing.
Two summers ago, wasn't that right?
Yes.
Yeah, two summers
Seems like
ago.
a light year ago, doesn't it?
It sure does. You look
Time
at them and they
flies.
look so young.
I know.
And makes the passage of time makes you so aware of it.
Yes.
So we are back now, and we are joined by our guest. His name is Nico DeWild, and he is the co-owner of RibCap, along with his partner Frederick. And Nico is a family entrepreneur, is what he calls himself, with a love for products that bring added value to people's lives in international environment. So welcome to the show, Nico.
It's great to be on the show. Thank you.
Okay,
We're thrilled to have you
we're
here.
thrilled to have you. Tell us, first of all, what exactly is RibCap?
Well, actually, RibCap, it's all about fashionable head protection. I have one here. So what we do is, if you look at the product, and this is one of them, this is one of the baseball caps that we are making right now. We actually want to combine fashion and safety. That's our goal. What you see nowadays in head protection, that it's always very bulky, it's very unattractive, and it's very uncomfortable to wear, especially for people with special needs. That's why we thought about the products such as RibCap, because what you see and what you get here is a combination of fashion and safety. And this is very unique because it's very difficult to combine these both. How we do it in the product is by using this special foam, which is integrated like this underneath all the caps and the beanies that you will see or online or in our shop. What's so special about this foam is that it's still very flexible, as you can see probably. It's still very breathable. You can the air goes just through it, so which makes, when you have it on your head, in combination with the RibCap, that it's still very comfortable and very light to wear. It's very light, of course, but then the outer layer is the shock absorbing layer, which absorbs the shocks when you have an impact over to protect you against bumps, bruises, and all kinds of impacts. And this makes it actually very unique because we can integrate it in any type of beanie or any type of hat that you would like. And what we do is I'll just show it for you in the camera upside down. If you integrate it into the beanie, we set it up like this. All these different pads go into the beanie. And this way you get a 360-degree protection, which is also with other products not possible because they are just not breathable and not as comfortable as the one we have. And what we do then is we make these fashionable beanies around it and fashionable caps around it, so that as well as people with special needs, autism, epilepsy, or just people that want to stay active during their normal day activities, can wear a head protection every day and feel just as comfortable as wearing a normal hat. It just looks like a normal cap and beanie.
Right.
And this is actually the goal of RipCap is providing a non-stigmatizing head protection for people with special needs.
In fact, much more than being non-stigmatizing, they're actually quite fashionable and people are enjoying wearing them. We want to go really quickly. Nico, you sent us a video and we want to show that to our audience, and then we'll come right back to talk more about RipCap with you. Take a look.
Super, thank you.
So as you can see, they're very, very fashionable.
Yes.
Certainly non-stigmatizing, as you said, Nico. Tell us how this product was developed.
Well, actually, it all began in Switzerland with this product, where it used to be produced for your everyday lifestyle. People that go hiking, people that go langlaufing, ice skating. You know, in Switzerland they have a lot of mountains, of course. At that point, it was a Swiss company. A couple of years ago, Frederick and I, we acquired the company because we strongly believed in the concept of having a fashionable soft protection during your everyday lifestyle. But shortly after, when we acquired the company, we got contacted by Dr. Amy Hester from Arkansas, and she's working as a fall management specialist at the UAMS hospital in Arkansas. And she was actually looking on the internet, Googling for fashionable head protection for people with special needs. And you couldn't find anything at that point. And all of a sudden she came to us, she found us. She came to us and she asked us for if she could have a sample for her at the hospital. And the first thing we did, of course, after having some talks, was that we sent her some samples and asking, look, if you want to test them at your hospital, feel free, no problem. But let us have some discussions on how our product could benefit your community. And after 2 years now, we've done intensive talks, a lot of testing, a lot of feedback also from Dr. Amy Hester. And this is how we came to the product in the community of people with special needs. And we are now, I have to say, I wouldn't say fully focused, but for 90% fully focused on this community, because the reactions we get are so overwhelming, are so enthusiastic, and we do feel that we create an extra value, and we give a lot of these people again a chance to go out and to be non-stigmatized and wear something fashionable, which is a great thing.
Well, and let's talk a little bit about the chin straps, because a lot of times, it can be difficult to keep an item on certain children's head, and other kids it's not a problem and that would be restrictive for them, but they're removable?
Yeah, correct. So what you see now with the baseball cap, for example, is that I'm just having it on my head without the chin straps, but these are just chin straps actually made out of a Velcro, and you can attach them here. There is a hook. You can attach them here on the hook, just close it, and then you can attach them like this, and then you have the chin straps as well, because what we realize also is that when you go outside, sometimes you need them, sometimes you don't need them. If you do need them, you can wear them, and you can just adjust them to the size of your or the shape of your head. But besides that, if you don't want to use them, you can just take them off, and nobody will know that you will have something protective on your head.
And the other thing I love about this is how it folds up, Nico. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, correct. That's also one of the main benefits of the product, is that it's all about comfortable. It's all about usability. That's also a fact, because what you see also, for example, one of the reasons why people don't like to wear normal helmets is that once you're finished with, for example, skiing or other sports activities, what do you have to do with your helmet? You can't take it with you all day, or for example, in cycling. And if you look at the beanie that we have, for example, since the fact that we have this 360-degree protection inside, and it's soft and foldable, you can just fold it like this. It's very flat, it's very light, and you can take it away in your backpack if you don't need it anymore. So imagine you're gonna go walk outside, you have your rib cap on your head, you come inside and you want to just sit down and have a cup of coffee, you want to take it off and put it in your backpack when you're in the restaurant, just take it with you like this and take it in your backpack. And that's a very big advantage for a lot of people.
What has been the response from the autism community on this product?
Well, I have to say we've done a lot of trade shows the last months in the healthcare business, and talked a lot to a lot of occupational therapists. And they all come up with two major communities that could really benefit from a product like RibCap. One is people with autism, and the second one is people with epilepsy. Because I guess you know more about it than me, of course, but people with autism, they do a lot of headbanging, they lose their stability, they have some uncontrollable motions. And then having a protective device on your head, which is as comfortable as a normal beanie or a normal cap, is good to prevent you from head injuries when you do the headbanging or when you do have uncontrollable motions.
Was Wyatt a headbanger?
Yes, he was, without a doubt.
And Jem, my son was too. And my son still likes to wear hats. He is somebody who seeks pressure on his head. And he would get that sometimes by hitting his head against things.
Wyatt would bang his head in his crib against the wall.
And the other thing for my son is that he loved to watch movies. It was one of his favorite things. But it would be so loud sometimes in the movie theater that we had a special hat that had flaps. I noticed one of your hats had flaps. And that we would take him and put his flaps down so he would still be watching the movie, but the flaps would be down. And I look at this and I think if we had this, I know my son would have had a rib cap because it would have protected us and there were even times in the movie theater where he would sit there and he would hit his head on the back of the... Yeah, it's just something he saw was pressure on his head. There are times, he's about to be 14, that he'll come up to me and he'll like sort of, and I'll push on his head.
Yeah, Wyatt likes to get tickles on his head as well, and he says, "Give me pressure."
There we go.
And as we know, Nico, a lot of our population has issues with seizures. So this is a product that can be used for people that have seizure disorder.
Yeah. Correct. And this is something that we also a process that we learned together with Dr. Amy Hester, is that actually the red line in healthcare for us is people with fall and stability issues or problems. They could all benefit from a product such as RibCap, because when they fall, of course, or when they have seizures, they're non-protected at this point because they don't want to, with the existing solutions, they don't want to wear it. At this point, to give you an example, we're doing some tests with the Veterans Association in the US in several hospitals, and they gave the people the choice between a rib cap and the existing head protection they now offer, and 95% is going, of course, for the rib cap. Already for the fashionable look. And like you were saying, if you have a son of 14 years old, they all wear these beanie type hats as their normal beanies, even indoors. So why don't, now with this, you can even wear a protective beanie in combination with a fashionable look. And talking about the ear flaps, this is the ear flap that we were referring to. It's just concealed in the beanie. You can just conceal it, or you can take it out if you do want to protect your ears. That's one thing. And also, if you would talk about going to the movie, to the cinema, what we do when we integrate the foam is we finish, I don't know if it's clear on the camera, but we finish it with a Coolmax layer. This is this yarn. This is a Coolmax layer. And this is a yarn which keeps you, which regulates your temperature. So when it's hot outside, it will cool you down, and the other way around. When it's cold outside, it will warm you. It will keep the warmth of your head into the beanie. So it's like you say, when there is a risk of seizures, what you see now is that the existing products are only good for indoor use or when they're in the institution. When they go out, they will never wear it because it's too uncomfortable and too stigmatizing. And now they could wear this.
Absolutely. And so where do they get them, Nico?
Well, we have an online shop at this point. We are talking to some people in the US, to some good companies that are willing to help us spread the word in the US. At this point, we do ship globally. We ship from Belgium. Everything is European produced. Our website is ribcap-healthcare.com or ribcap.com. We have two websites. You can buy them there, and we ship globally, and we can do a very good transport deal to the US, and it only takes a couple of days, so that's not a problem.
Okay. Ribcap.com. Thank you so much for this wonderful invention.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you,
Nico.
Thank you.
What a wonderful product.
Yes.
We're going to take a break, and then we're going to be back to talk a little bit about the last couple of weeks and what's coming up. Stick with us. Currently, in the United States, 1 in 88 children is affected by autism. 1 in 88 means something different when your child is the one. Recovery is possible. Hi, I'm Shannon Penrod, host of Autism-Live, an online show about autism broadcast by CARD, the Center for Autism and Related Disorders. I'm also the mother of a child with autism, my beautiful son, Jem. You know our old joke, guess what?
Chicken butt.
Chicken butt. So we're going to take the chickens. But things weren't always so easy. I remember when Jem was first diagnosed with autism. I used to lay awake at night in bed and pray for someone or something that could help us to get our child back. My prayers were answered by Dr. Doreen Granpichet and the Center for Autism and Related Disorders. CARD treats autism and other related disorders using the principles of ABA, Applied Behavior Analysis, which is the only scientifically proven effective treatment for autism. It is also recommended by the American Academy of Pediatrics and the U.S. Surgeon General. About a year after we started treatment with CARD, we were able to see tremendous improvement, and we got our child back.
What grade are you in?
Second.
You are a smart cookie, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like school?
Yeah.
Do you have any good friends?
Yeah, Oscar.
Oscar is your best friend?
Yeah.
And my child is just one of thousands to benefit from CARD ABA therapy. Across the nation and around the world, children are making amazing progress and being given the keys to unlock their full potential.
Recovery from autism is absolutely a possibility. We've been recovering children for over 20 years. It's just a matter of identifying the child's medical needs, understanding the child's sensory issues, and then teaching the child all of the skills they need in order to function normally.
We know there's hope for autism. Autism is treatable and recovery from autism is possible.
And we're back. That was an amazing invention, that the
rib cap, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, what a great thing, because it's something you can take with you that doesn't draw a lot of attention if you need that extra protection, and that it isn't something that's going to heat up so much. Right. I mean, it makes a great deal of sense. We absolutely would have had one.
Yes, we would have too.
While we were working through the head banging thing.
And head banging is quite common. So if you're a family that deals with that, please know that It's quite common.
And people are wearing them.
Yeah.
It's a fashionable thing.
It is.
And so we have to talk a little bit about an event
Yeah.
that's coming up that's going to air live here at Autism Live 2 weeks from today.
On May 24th.
Yep, that's 2 weeks from
Right,
today.
is 2 weeks from today.
Which is like crazy to think about. But the fabulous Corey
May
Feldman.
is flying by.
Yes, it is. But Corey Feldman, and for people who don't know, Corey Feldman has starred in many things, was a huge child actor.
Yes, he was
Stand
in The
By
Lost
Me,
Boys.
The Lost Boys.
And he also was in the movie The Goonies,
yes,
the Spielberg
he's very
movie.
well known for that.
Yes.
He has grown as an artist.
He's
in-
got
in
his own
adulthood.
band.
And it's called Corey's Angels.
Yes.
And so Corey's Angels, for just one day on May 24th, are becoming Corey's Autism Angels.
Corey is going to help raise funds for ACT Today, Autism Care and Treatment Today, with a special Facebook Live event.
Right here, 2 weeks from today, almost exactly to
Yes.
the minute, because at noon Pacific time, from noon, it's a 4-hour long event.
Yeah, we're calling it a telethon, a Facebook Live telethon event.
Yes, and he's going to have a bunch of his stars that are friends that are going to be here. We're going to have people answering, talking with you guys online. People are going to perform.
Yes.
It's going to be mayhem
All kinds of
and
artists.
fun.
Yes, it will be. Probably a lot of mayhem.
Mayhem and fun. And it'll be live, so it'll be what it'll be. But we're excited, and I really want to say, first of all, how nice of Corey that he has offered his time and his talent and said, and I will ask friends, and there's already been a huge outpouring of stars sending in videos
Yes.
that will be showcased. Like, we're not going to reveal any of them right now, but you guys, your jaws are going to drop.
Yes, some very big names.
Yes, and a lot of people say they want to help, and very few people put their time and energy into it. And Corey said he wanted to help and has put his time and energy into it in a very big way.
He has.
I think this really resonates with him because he has experienced some bullying.
He has, and he, I don't know, you maybe were out of the country if you didn't hear about the time he was on the Today Show, because it really
was fairly recent. What, like in the last 2 years?
Garnered a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Several months ago, his band appeared on the Today Show. It was a interesting performance, and apparently got a huge amount of attention.
Yes.
And there was some criticism. And he then went live on Facebook to talk about that and how it really hurt him.
Yeah, it made him emotional.
Made him very emotional. And he is a big anti-bullying advocate.
Yeah.
And he is very much in tune with the fact that so many on the autism spectrum are bullied, and wants to put an end to that.
Which is really remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
We really have to commend him for that. And so he's going to be here and doing a lovely job. And the point of it is to raise funds for Autism Care and Treatment Today, ACT Today, which Nancy is the executive director of. I'm on the board. There is no other organization like ACT Today that gives grants to families.
Directly to the families.
For the things that the families need.
Right.
There are some great organizations out there that give grants. And sometimes it's, we give grants for iPads, and there's nothing wrong with that, but not everybody needs an iPad.
Right.
And then there are other organizations that give, different things. But ACT Today says, what do you need? Write into us. And with the funds that we raise, we will give where we think the need is greatest, where these funds can make a difference.
But we pay the provider of the service.
Yes.
As opposed to it going directly to the family, it goes directly to the provider of the service.
And it's a lengthy application that parents do, which those all get read, and I'll tell you, it's devastating to read them, to see the need that is there, and we can never give enough money.
No.
You've given away $1.5 million, but it is not enough.
No, it just continues. The list continues. The waiting list is huge. And
Corey
to chip away at it.
Yeah, and Corey has said, let me come here, let's raise whatever money that we can. So not only does it support ACT Today, but let's support people who want to help,
right,
which is an amazing thing. So that's going to start 2 weeks from today, almost to the minute. It'll start right at noon, and it'll go till 4 Pacific time. And we encourage you to drop in and to tell people about it and share
on who some of the celebrity guests are next week.
And to share it on your social media so that more people, honestly, you know, it doesn't, if everybody who watched gave $1, it could make some huge changes for people who are in need. And you know how great it feels to give. So 2 weeks from today, we're calling it Corey's Autism Angels.
Yes.
A Facebook
There's going to be
Live
some
event.
angels showing up to help out.
Absolutely. And then in other news, you did something really remarkable, and I got to give you big kudos because I know it wasn't the easiest thing in the world to do, but your son, who is a brilliant, brilliant artist, has been tearing it up and winning some awards. Some of you may be aware of something called Reflections. That's a PTA-sponsored event that happens at schools all over the country.
It does, and I guess this has happened every year for a number of years.
Yes.
Well, we entered the contest. My son Wyatt entered his art, which he calls Y art, and we call it eco art because what he does primarily is he takes recycled cartons, like Starbucks cartons, wine cartons, all kinds of packing ship cartons.
Because he has a smart mama who ran out of canvases at one point and said, paint this.
It got so expensive. And I thought, okay, what else can he paint? And he kind of just gravitated towards it.
Yeah.
So he did paint a wine carton, which we submitted. It's multidimensional. We submitted it in the art category. And he won the award at the local level, and then
he started at his school, and he won at his school.
Right.
Then he won at the local, the district level.
Right. Then he won at the state level an award of excellence.
Right.
And Sam, I don't know if you have any pictures, but she's working on it, so we'll show you those. But it required going to San Jose,
which is quite the trip.
Right. So I drove to San Jose with Wyatt. And he was at an awards that it's amazing what the PTA does at this convention. First of all, it's a huge convention.
Yes.
And the program they put on for the winners was simply magnificent.
Yeah.
So I was very proud of him getting up there on stage in front of hundreds and hundreds of PTA attendees for this conference and collecting his award. So he'll go on to the national level now.
Yes, so we can't wait to hear when you have to go to Washington to accept that award.
Well, we'll see.
That's a coming. But you know, I want to say that sometimes we feel like another thing I got to do, right? But you said, no, I'm going to go and do this and talk to parents about what did it do for you and what did it do for Wyatt to actually go and make the trip and to participate. There's
here
Wyatt.
we go. Well, there's Wyatt holding his award of excellence medal. And that's, you can see in the picture there, the carton that he painted. You can see it's multidimensional. And what he does with these cartons is he paints them a brilliant array of colors.
Look at how beautiful. So it's the 3 pictures on the top there showing different angles of what it looked like.
Right. It was front and back. And you see how his use of color, how he utilizes color. And that's what he's passionate about.
That is what he's passionate about. But so what, was it great for him? Did he feel
it was great for him?
To
keep saying, I'm getting an award and my mom is here and I won an award and to keep getting congratulated, I think was really wonderful. And I want to thank you for encouraging me to go, because when I found out it was San Jose and it was a 6-hour drive and all of that, I was like,
there's a million reasons why you wouldn't want to do it, right? But was it worth it?
It was definitely worth it.
I'm so glad. I'm so proud of you.
Thank
I know
you.
that's a huge undertaking. Sometimes when there's just like a thing
that I got to go to. It was going up on a Friday and then attending all the ceremony on Saturday morning and then driving back that same day. So it was kind of exhausting, but it was a good exhausting. And I guess I want to encourage parents that if they have opportunities to do things with their kids that you think maybe, well, it's too much trouble, take another look at it.
Yeah, because it's worth it. It really is. I think it builds their self-esteem, and it is, and it gives us that that thing of we're bonding with our kids in a different way. It's a worthwhile thing to do.